Welcome back, kings and queens, and welcome if you're new here. My name is Hope King, and I'm the designer behind King's Designs MD. Today, I'm trying something out that I haven't tried before. I am going to try to make the Diva ornament. Now, I've seen a couple of videos, a few people have done it. I saw probably about a year ago, people were posting in groups. I had to think for a second. Sometimes my brain has too many tabs open. But anyway, so let me show you some of the things you're going to need. So I have the ornament. I have a ruler on my desk because you need to be able to measure to see what size vinyl you're going to put on here. I got some brown paint and I got nutmeg brown. That was the color I chose, as well as black yarn. I actually think I own black yarn, but honey, I don't know where it is right now. The other thing is you're going to need Cricut design space or silhouette, whatever type of cutting format that you use. And you're going to need your vinyl. So I'm going to use black vinyl, and that should be it. So let's get started. So this is a design that I made, and it's just a face and lips, and I've already measured my ornament. So I'm going to take this down to about 2.5 in width, just so you can see. So this is the full face, full design, and that's how big it's going to be on my ornament in width. So it's Sunday and it's a football day, so you might hear some trash talking or anything behind me today. But I just threw this shape in here because I was going to do it all in black, but I decided I want to give her lips some color. So I'm going to hit slice. And now this way I can delete my results and I can keep her lips separated so that I can have them in a different color. So if you see, you guys can't see, but on the side where I slice, I'm just deleting out the additional pieces. So now I have this piece, and I'm going to change the color, which is going to put it on two mats for me, but that's quite all right. So I'm going to keep her eyes in black, and I'm going to do her lips in like this deep maroon color. I also want to go over, because if you don't know what your background is going to look like, you can hit blank canvas, and then at the top, if you click on color, it'll show you the color, so you can change your background. So you can see if you were to do this with her, kind of what the outline is going to look like. And if you click on advanced, you can change your color settings so that it might be more realistic to whatever paint or skin color or background you're using for any particular project. So just throwing that in there for anybody who doesn't know that. But now I can click make it, and I am going to hook my laptop up to my computer, because I personally find that when I'm plugging it in instead of using my Wi-Fi, things run a little bit better for me. So alright, so I was getting my mat prepared. So I go on my 12 by 12. I'm going to hit confirm. I have my computer logged in. And the only thing I need to do now is move it down, because I actually have it set up at the number 2. I have it moved down on my mat. Down here and here. That's about right. So I'm just moving that down so it cuts actually where it is. Now, someone wants to know why I did that. The reason I did that is because I need to clean my mat. And if you continue to use the top left corner of your mat, which most people do, and that's usually what Cricut prompts you to do. But if you continue to use the top corner of your mat, that part of your mat gets the most wear and tear. It gets dirty faster, all of those things. So that's why I moved it down. And you can see it's loading up. It's set to vinyl. I'm getting it in my machine. So I thought I was recording. It's in my machine getting ready to cut. It's all set for vinyl. Now on to the lips. I have my maroon color loaded, and it's getting ready to cut. Now everything cut, I just kind of push my Cricut back and out of the way. I have my camera flipped around, so hopefully it won't confuse you too much with letters and wording and everything. Alright, I just had to locate some scissors so I could cut out my two pieces. And this is the top with the eyes, and this is just the lips. So here's my Cricut remove tool. And it's really not going to take long at all. I'm just hooking this in. And I probably could have done this by hand and just gotten what I needed. And now this part might be a little trickier because of the eyelashes, but I think I designed it thick enough that it shouldn't be an issue. I'm just going to pick one corner to try to make it easier to get in here. Now the eyebrows are a little thin, so just be sure however you need to keep it down, you keep your eyebrows in place. Or the top of the eyelid, whichever. But you just want to make sure you keep that part in place. And yeah, I designed the eyelashes thick enough that we're not losing any lashes today, ladies. So that's wonderful. Now I'm grabbing my transfer tape. I have a big piece of transfer tape over here that I'm sure I recycled from something else. So I just cut a small piece off just so I don't have a massive amount in front of me to work with. I'm just putting this down. And I usually do not work on top of my laptop, but whatever today. And if you actually wanted to, you can go ahead and do your lips right now so that you can have your eyes and your lips wherever you wanted them to be. So if I move my lips over, I can go ahead and just press those right on so the face is wherever I want it to be. And I'm just going to use my scraper tool, and then I'll move my laptop so I stop pressing on that. I'm going to use my scraper tool just to scrape and get everything down so that I can pull my backing off. And voila, everything's in place. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to get my face, and somehow I've gotten connected to the yarn. Go over here and get my face. Now if we want, we can go ahead and put it on, or we can set the face to the side. It's up to you how you want to do it. I'm actually going to use my sticky mat because it'll stop it from rolling so much. So I'm going to put this down. And I got the ornament sorry y'all, sometimes I cannot talk and do stuff at the same time. I got the ornament that had the flatter surface. So it's more oval shaped than completely rounded. Y'all probably laugh at me, but I'm the person that I have to turn the radio off when I'm lost. But just the truth. But I got the oval shape, and I'm just trying to straighten out the top of her eye a little bit, because that's going to probably annoy me. And some of her lashes want to come up as I'm doing this, so making sure they get varnished down really well. Or burnished down. What am I saying today? It's all good. If anything comes up, use your finger and just lay it back down. And so I'm just peeling it back here so you guys can see. And if you can already see, she's gorgeous already before I've even put any paint in it. And I am losing pieces right here in my face. Oh, it's right here. So I'm re-sticking my transfer tape back down in case I want to use it. And at this point, it's curled up so much, I may not want to use it again, but it's there if I want to. So her face is on. And if that's all you wanted to do, you're good to go. Putting the cover back on my mat. And I'm just going to flip it over and work on top of it because I think it makes it a little bit easier for you guys to see. So I'm going to try to bring you closer. Okay. So now you're in a little bit closer. That's her face. These are her maroon lips. I have two different formats for this. One with her mouth slightly open. And then this one. Actually, I think I have like 4 because I did one where her lips bigger. And just played around with different styles. But the next thing I'm going to do, I just pop this piece out. I have my brown paint. And I probably should have some water or something here with me, but I don't. So it is what it is. Alright. So, I'm not squirting that in my face. But I'm just going to get this brown paint down in there and move it around. And I am just going to let it do its thing and swirl it, kind of like you saw me do the glitter ornaments, and just let it get coated. Now I'm using apple barrel paint, and this paint, none of this come out, is pretty thick. I would probably mix this with a little bit of Mod Podge if I was doing this at a separate time, just to thin the paint out some. Or some people might want to mix it with just a little water because this paint is super thick. This is probably good if you're painting something else, but for right now, it's like really thick and taking a while for the paint to move around. So I'm going to let it roll and do its thing, and I'll be back. Alright, so I'm nearing the end, guys, and I'm going to tell you, this is a project that takes patience. You know, they talk about watching paint dry. You're literally watching paint dry on this one. I'm just at the end, and I'm trying to swirl my paint so that it gets as close to the tip as possible. And I'm just going to put my paint back into my bottle. I think if the paint wasn't so thick, it wouldn't have taken as long, and it just wouldn't have taken so long. It would have been easier to move around and all of that. And I probably would not have used this much, just trying to make the process go faster. So I'm emptying my leftover paint back in the bottle, and you can see how much paint is still left over because I was squeezing a lot more paint into the bottle than probably necessary because it was just taking too long for me. So I'm going to continue to get my extra paint back into the bottle, and I'll be back. So I just want to show you this. If it's taking too long to get back into the bottle, or you're having drip issues, You can just turn it over inside of a cup. This is one of those white plastic cups from probably Dollar Tree or Sam's Club or somewhere. But I'm showing you this because of the item being oval. I can push it down into the cup, and then the cup is going to conform to the shape of the ornament. And you can see I have paint on my hands. I did get a couple of other ornaments, and all of my ornaments came from the Dollar Tree Crafter Square. And I was hoping that this one was going to tell you the size. But since I have it here, it is about 4 inches in diameter. So, just so you know, if you're doing this, how much paint you might actually need. I think I emptied half a bottle of paint up, y'all, because I was just like, this is too much. This too much. Because I'm not feeling very patient today. While I'm waiting for that to dry, I am going to start on my yarn. So this is one of the Dollar Tree boxes that I showed you guys before, just making them in different sizes. You can grab anything. If you have birthday cards in the house or something like that, you can grab it just to be a template for you. I'm gonna grab one of these cards. These are blank cards over here. Blank card stock, rather. So if you have any type of card stock, any type of whatever, you can just use it as your template. But all I'm going to do is first run it into my yarn. You can even use your hand. I'll use my hand today because I just want to make it easy for people as possible. And wrap it just like we did them old school pom-poms back in the day. That's what we're doing. We're wrapping it. Boom. Somebody will be like, why are you saying boom? I don't know. I'm kind of tired. And I've been getting silly, apparently. So we're just wrapping it. And since this is my first time, I can't tell you wrap it 25 times and you're going to get what you need. You want to wrap it to try to get it as fluffy as you want it to be and as full as you want it to be. Because after we wrap it around our hands, we're going to pull it off and tie it. And this is going to be the pom-pom for the hair. So I'm going to keep wrapping and then I'll come back because I want a nice full pom-pom. Alright, so I wrap my whole hand. So I'm just going to cut this string. And now where I cut this string, it is a loop. You should be able to see all the way through. And we're going to run our string through that complete hole. And we're going to tie it off. Actually, let me say that again. I don't want it through the hole. I want it all the way around the pom-pom. So, I hope you guys, let me untie it so you can see it again. So where I had it wrapped all the way around, there was a complete hole. I'm going to lay it all flat down so it's together. And then I'm going to have it on top of the yarn and go all the way over and around it. So it's around the entirety of my whole yarn. Y'all, it's been a while since I made a pom-pom, probably like 20 years. So there we go. I'm trying to pull it as tight as possible. Now I'm going to snip that off. And I'm going to cut through all of my loops. So you should have loops on 2 ends. You want to cut through all of your loops. So now you have that pom-pom that looks like hair. See, it's starting to look fringy like hair. Now, I still have my original string from where I tied it. I wish I would have kept it just a little bit longer, but that's okay. Learn from my mistakes. And cut through the other side. Now I'll tell you, this yarn was from Walmart. I think they actually have yarn in most Dollar Trees, but I was in Walmart at the time that I got it. And it very nice. It feels very nice. It's very soft yarn. So I'm just trying to get this stuff out of the way. And I'm pulling pieces out. I don't mean to, but I'm just yanking pieces. So be careful of that. Make sure you have it tight enough, and you shouldn't be able to pull it out. If you have any issues like me and you recognize, maybe it should be a little bit tighter, you can go around with a second piece of yarn and make sure it is super tight. And then you can also make sure that your yarn is super long so that you can have something to attach everything to. So now I'm pulling it super tight, but if you do it right the first time, you don't have to do it again. And I'm going to give myself a long piece of string just so I can have something work with and see here. Now you can cut off any excess pieces. If you wanted her hair longer, you can make her hair longer. You can use this as an opportunity now. If you wanted to just tie this on, you could, or you can glue it on. So I'm going to try the tie method and see how it looks. So I'm just looping the string through. I'm finding this other end and pulling it through. And just putting it on, and I am pulling it tight so it sits on top. And I pulled it off. Alright, so I'm putting this bag in because I pulled too hard. And I'm not liking that at all. Just too loose. It's not going to work. So snippity snip for that. Alright, so we have our pom-pom together. And I got pieces. I don't know if it's falling off the pom-pom or off the honey. I don't know that. But I tried the tie method. I didn't like the tie method. That's not going to work. So I actually have some glue here. And now I'm going to try the glue method. And I don't want to keep the string on because once this pom-pom goes on top of it, it's not likely to be convenient for me anymore. So let's get my glue unclogged. So I didn't like the tie method. It was too loose. So I've put some glue on top of my pom-pom, and I'm just going to put this on. I'm going to press it down so that the hair fibers can stick to the top. I want to keep the silver piece on because it's going to cap off the ornament. So I'm going to hold this and let it sit so that it can stick to the pom-pom, and then I'll be back. You can also use hot glue, but my hot glue gun is put up somewhere. Alright, so I took this out of the cup, and I have my other piece. I'm just going to squeeze the two ends together, just like you saw me doing the glitter ornament tutorial. Just going to squeeze my two ends together and stick it into the container. Now be careful because I know mine is not all the way dry. So when you're getting it in there, just be careful and be mindful. But now we have the Diva ornament and she has her pom-pom on. I would tell you, if you're a little concerned that it's not sitting well, you might want to take some hot glue or some super glue just to glue the silver part back onto the top so you have something else holding your ornament down and into place. But if you kept your loop, then you have your loop on the top. I'm scared about the way it's pulling, so I'm going to hit it with some hot glue just to keep all of my pieces in place, and so my ornament doesn't pull up when it actually goes on the tree, because then she's losing her hair here. All right, guys, so I went back in, I put a little bit more glue down, and I'm still letting it dry. But once it dries, it should be all set. You see the hair is not pulling as much as it was before, but I don't want to pull it too much because it's still drying. But there you go. You have your loop. You have your ornament. And I hope this helps somebody. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And you guys have a great day.